خزيان مخبرم شوخن طاوة هاي لبرس خزوت أطراي بتيول وانون شاروكينا هسو مقرون قاتوخن خرزة اجت إيسن خزيان مخبر خرزة إديو إلى خرزة دي لنايا بنسبة تقليتا ديش قلا شوبا شبتت ورا جمدية شيكاغو إلينوي بنسبة أحولات الصاوانة دينا بشقالة شوبا جمدية موصل جو أطرة العراق تقليتا بشدوا مقروطة باي Assyrian Chaldean Syri community وبين مدخران قاتوخن WBBM مدخرة نازودة من البناش التيوة الدي تقليتا هذا غزويدة WBBM خات بقتا من مارتن يومارن وستيف أوشانا بس بوش الأمر قمت خداسات نبرس خزت أطراي بتيول.
Good evening, friends and fellow Americans. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. I am Michael Benjamin Yonan, and I'm running for Congress in the 9th Congressional District. As a businessman and a medical administrator, I serve my community by providing jobs and services to help bolster the economy. As an Air Force veteran, I served my country with pride and integrity for 8 years. As a father and devoted husband, I, like you, am concerned about my children's future and the future of America. I'm gravely concerned with America's economic well-being. I've grown frustrated, like you, seeing the incumbent representative use her office like an ATM. I'm tired of the backdoor deals and corruption, all in the name of self-interest. The carelessness of unnecessary earmarks and irresponsible spending that don't even benefit our district. My opponent, a member of the Commerce Committee, has had a hand in sending our economy, our country, into a tailspin while she continues to neglect the very people she's supposed to fight for. She has represented the special interest, not the people, and it's time for a change. Since our current Congress came to power in 2006, our dollar has dropped lower and faster than seen in decades. Banking institutions are failing, and the FDIC has just over $50 billion on hand, while it insures more than $4 trillion. Gas prices soar while we depend on hostile nations to provide us with oil. Thousands of hardworking Americans have lost their 401ks and pensions while CEOs reap millions in severance. We are seeing our jobs leave this great country to go to foreign lands. All of this while our deficit continues to rise faster than at any time in our history. The failure of our financial institutions lies solely with Congress. It is up to Congress to ensure the security of our financial institutions. Congress is supposed to be our defense for peace of mind. Someone, politician or CEO, is profiting from this devastation, while you and I see our futures disintegrate before our very eyes. Locally, we experience crushing taxes as our district suffers the highest tax burden in the nation. Making a citizen choose between having basic health care or putting food on the table is not the American way. Being a U.S. representative is a privilege, and I'm dedicated to improving the 9th District through government service and representation. As Congressman, I pledge never to abuse the power of my office. With your support, I will do my best to serve you. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
خزيان مخبر دي مدخران قالوخن هدي بشقنوخ من دان اللقاط من تقليت ديش قلا شوبها شبتت ورا عند إيوا جمدية شيكاغو إلينوي جو ديركسون فيدرال بيلدينج قم ديركسون فيدرال بيلدينج وخجا خيتا بين مدخران قالوخن WBBM نيوز راديو مدخورة وازودة من البناش التيوا هر هذا غزويدة وخد بقتا من مارتن يومارن وستيف أوشانا.
Assyrians out the road, board, and then كلها وجات بيومتن أما شيء يمكرولون كذا من لتن بتمغز إيكي وخخت الدكرايا من لتن إيكي الدكرايا هذا في مرام عزيزة.
Fellow Americans, open your eyes and save us from genocide. 3,000 Chaldo-Assyrian families forced to flee Mosul. Why? Why are these things happening to our Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac people? Repeat after me. The Chaldo-Assyrians must be represented. restoration of democracy. Why can't we save the Iraqi Christians of Iraq? When will we get a chance to live peacefully in our country? We are the indigenous people, and we will not be kicked out of our country. Thank all of you for taking the time today to join us, even in the rain. We have come together to exercise our right to free assembly under this great democracy, to protest the ethnic cleansing of our Christian brothers and sisters in Mosul, Iraq. Absolutely deplorable human rights violations are taking place in Mosul and other areas of Iraq. These crimes against our people must be stopped.
Yes! We can hear you!
I can't hear you. Bnei Umti Habibe, Shlam Alochon. من جب أمتن خيانة مدينة شيكاغو وخضروانو آنيت إينا أتراية كالداية سورياية طينانت من توخ من سنتوخن الداها تقليتا اتيتون يودانا وهديرة أمن إديوم لخا جميتن لخا إديوم إلى كليتن أخداؤمتا اتمرمخ قالا بتأهولته اتئيلن قوومة البني أمتن قو أطرت أوهاتن عراق قو مديتة موصل وخضروانو من قطلة ومرقتا ات أمتن من قو بتواته اديوم بيشنا بربزك قو مدينات خينة أن جزياته بغزايلة أمتن جارك باشي مكلية ولخا بيتاية لقرن مودي بتقادخ قاته. If we can all just stand in a moment of silence, قالت شتقتا قالنا شتينا ميتو بيشخ طيلة قموصو. Thank you. And now, I would like to introduce Mr. Martin Umaran, Director of the Midwest Region for the Assyrian American National Federation.
On behalf of the Assyrian Chaldean Syriac community, we gather here today to protest the most recent atrocities against the Assyrian Christians in Iraq, highlighting the events in the city of Mosul. Since World War I, the Assyrian Chaldean Syriac people have been targets of persecution and violence that had led to their genocide. In the years between 1915 and 1918, the Assyrian nation lost 2/3 of its people at the hands of the Turks and the Kurds. In 1933, as its first official military operation, the country of Iraq ordered its troops to kill more than 5,000 Assyrian civilians as a show of military strength. The world watched and did nothing. Prior to 2003, the Ba'athist regime, even before Saddam Hussein's dictatorship, continuously oppressed Assyrians by systematically denying and attempting to erase their ethnic identity, in many cases forcing them to lose their culture and language in order to survive. Since the US invasion of Iraq in 2003, hundreds of Assyrians have died. Almost 50 churches have been attacked and destroyed. Hundreds of thousands of more are either displaced or have fled as refugees. Indeed, these crimes are nothing short of ethnic cleansing and genocide. And the world watches and does nothing. As the indigenous people of Iraq, formerly Mesopotamia and Assyria, the Assyrians have been living in these lands for over 7,000 years. They are one of the few remaining Aramaic-speaking people who began civilization. They gave the world science, law, mathematics, a calendar, and its first military empire. The Assyrians were among history's greatest empires. Today, it's sad to say that this once great nation not only has no land to call their own, but their history, indeed their very existence, is being threatened in the lands of our ancestors. And the world continues to watch and do nothing. It is our responsibility as guardians of this history, as living testament to its resilience as human beings with the inherent right to survive on our indigenous lands, to make sure that this time the world does something. No longer can we sit idly by while our brothers and sisters are attacked, killed, and oppressed. If violence like this happens against most peaceful people of Iraq's democracy population, then what sort of democracy have we traded tyranny for? Is this the new Iraq? Are our Assyrians merely obstacles to Islamic fundamentalist Kurdish nationalists? Let me tell you about some of the attacks happening to our people so you can know how bad it is. On October 6th, a few days into attacking Mosul's Christians, unknown terrorists came into an auto part shop and filled the body of a disabled man, 25-year-old. They filled him with bullet holes and assassinated him. He was the only breadwinner for his family who had already fled to the Ninewa Plains. On October 4th, a 15-year-old boy was found dead near his home. A young boy was found dead near his home. A father and son working in a construction at a home were killed, and they left the people of the home that the father and son were working at their home. They left them alone, but went in the house and executed the father and son. 2 female teachers and a pharmacist were killed. These are just some of the atrocities happening. Within 24 hours, 1,165 families fled Mosul. Today, it's 3,000 families fled Mosul to the Ninewa Plains. We strongly recommend that the United States of America, the Iraqi government, follow actions to protect the Assyrian Christians of Iraq. The Ninewa Plains should become a special protected area under national forces, local formal policing and security from the Ninewa Plains, our own police force. Other Iraqi government forces and militias from neighboring regions must withdraw from the Ninewa Plains. And yes, we're talking about the Kurds. They must withdraw from our lands. Article 50 must be reinstated. And finally, the United Nations must investigate and ascertain the perpetrators, the means used, and the culpability for all involved in this effort to ethnically cleanse Mosul and its indigenous Iraqi Christians, the Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac people. In closing, we have had some support from the U.S. government. Especially, I want to thank Congressman Kirk, who is the champion not only for raising concern about our flight, but who has passed legislation, aid for our people, and about the policing. He put that in legislation to get us policing. We need that to go forward. And we ask that we recognize that Senators Obama and Durbin, we recognize their letters of support and concern, but we want policies. We want action. We want this to continue, and we want to save the Assyrian Christians of Iraq. God bless the Assyrian nation, and God bless America!
And now I'm proud to introduce Mr. Narari George Youssef. He's a member of the Assyrian Chaldean Syriac student movement. He has a statement on behalf of Assyrian youth.
My name is Narari Youssef. I was born and raised on the north side of Chicago. My parents fled Iraq in search for a better life here in America. As an Assyrian American, I realized that I have everything I need in this country. I could get a good education, I could go to work hard, and finally achieve my dreams. Then I start thinking about my people back in Iraq and how this war has brought them suffering and pain. Just because they believe that the message of Jesus Christ was the truth. This is nothing new to the Assyrian people. We've been going through these persecutions for the past thousands of years. Just because our refusal to convert to Islam. Convert to Islam or die is what they tell us. They can make these threats as much as they want to our people, but they will never change our beliefs and our heritage. Through all the persecutions and sufferings, I know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. America has shined a dim light towards the mountains and valleys of northern Iraq, where the Assyrian people dwell and continue to fight for their human rights and to live in a true democracy. There are many forces trying to stop democracy in Iraq. For for the Assyrian Chaldean Syriac people. This demonstration we hold today is a message to the American people that we cannot allow such atrocities to happen to the Iraqi Christians, who are the people from the cradle of civilization, who helped spread Christianity to the Eastern world in the 1st century, who have fought along the side of the Allies in World War I and II. This is a message to the Assyrian youth. In the words of Dr. David B. Perley, I quote, "I am an Assyrian, and as an Assyrian I am obligated to be actively interested in the destiny of the Assyrians. Once the greatest nation, now almost forgotten. I would be an arch criminal if I failed to assume this obligation. Now is the time for us to stand up and fight the good fight. Fight for our people's rights in Iraq. Thank you to the city of Chicago for this opportunity. May God bless America. Chaya Atur. Thank you very much."
To introduce Mr. Michael Yonan, he'd like to say a few words.
You guys are very courageous people for coming out here, and I wanted to thank you for being out here to make our voices heard. This is the way we do it. This is the way we send a message to these people right across the street from us and tell them that we need to fight for our freedom and protect our people back in the homeland. My name is Michael Yonan, and I'm running for Congress in the 9th Congressional District, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell you that I serve this country in the United States Air Force, and I understand what it takes to be dedicated and motivated, to be honored and in integrity. And what you're doing right now, displaying your beliefs, is a very critical part for our people. We must tell these people every day that they must support our people, they must support our indigenous lands, and protect the Assyrians and the Iraqi Christians from now until the end. Let me just say this. The United States went into Iraq to liberate the people from tyrannical leaders and to ensure democracy for all those who live within the borders. This includes life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By removing Article 50 from the provincial law, it will negate everything the United States has done to promote democracy from being sustained. In every democracy, you have a minority to represent, you have the majority to represent, and everyone in between. This clearly undermines the intentions of the Iraqi people and conflicts with the objectives of what the United States intended to do, and that was to liberate people and to liberate the Assyrian people. To the Iraqi leaders who have fought so hard to remove Article 50 from provincial law, I understand that you're concerned about the impact so few seats can have when it comes to decision making on bills. But be aware that in a democratic process, it is imperative that you have such swing votes because sometimes they can work into your favor. I just want to tell you that I am so proud of all of you. Keep on fighting, don't stop, send a message, and tell our government that we need to be protected and we will not stop fighting. Thank you.
And now it is with great pleasure for me to introduce Mr. Steve Oshana. He's a policy director for the Assyrian American National Coalition. It's our lobbyist group in Washington, and it's a great pleasure to have him here to speak for us.
Thank you all for being here today. Your presence is a testament to the will of the human spirit. I would like to thank the City of Chicago, Mayor Daley, and the City Council for granting us this opportunity to be with you here today. I'd like to thank Congressman Mark Kirk for his continued support of the Assyrian people in Washington. He has been a champion for our cause. I'd like to thank two incredible individuals who sit across the street from us here today. I'd like to thank Senators from Illinois, Barack Obama, and Senator Dick Durbin. A few weeks ago, Senator Obama wrote a letter to Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice regarding the repeal of Article 50, expressing his concern for the Assyrian people. A few days ago, on Friday, Senator Dick Durbin wrote a letter where he said, quote, "I'm expressing my concern about the safety and well-being of Iraq's Christian and other non-Muslim minorities. As your voice in Washington, I spend a lot of time in the Senate hallways. I don't run into Senator Obama as much as I used to or as much as I would like. But I do occasionally run into Senator Dick Durbin. And there hasn't been an instance where I passed him in the hallway where he hasn't stopped me and asked me how our people were doing. We would like to express our gratitude to both of those gentlemen for being great representatives for the state of Illinois. I would also like to take a moment to say thank you to our brave men and women in uniform who are serving valiantly in Iraq. Your willingness to risk your lives to bring democracy to such distant lands is a testament to the transcendence and power of liberty. And for that, we thank you. In a seemingly endless assault on Iraq's most vulnerable population, the righteous notions of tolerance and equality, cornerstones of a free and democratic nation, have been disregarded, replaced with deplorable and unconscionable acts of violence. As Americans, we believe in the notion of liberty and justice for all. It is because of this belief that we come to you today as fellow Americans that believe that the suffering of anyone necessitates the action of everyone. Today in Mosul, the Assyrian people are being terrorized. Children are being murdered. Women are being raped. Churches are being destroyed. An entire race of people are being driven out of their ancestral homeland by these oppressors who believe that these acts are warranted because the people they victimize practice a religion that is different from their own. Iraq is being ethnically cleansed by the tyranny of evil men. No evil, however forceful as it may be, can overcome the strength of the human spirit. In the face of these horrible crimes being committed against the Assyrian people, we have found the common bond. We have found strength in each other. As death tolls in Mosul continue to rise, it is our place to speak on behalf of our suffering brothers and sisters. Throughout the world, Assyrians of all backgrounds have come together for the common good of our nation, for the simple belief that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Over the years, both the Iraqi and American governments have made valiant efforts to end the persecution of minorities. However, those who wish to continually oppress have done everything they can to bring these efforts to a halt. In 2006, when it was realized that the very people who were meant to be protecting us in the north of Iraq were actually the ones oppressing us, the Minister of the Interior of Iraq ordered the creation of a local police force to protect minorities and protect Christians in the Nineveh Plains. This effort was immediately blocked by the Kurdistan regional government. I am proud to tell you that because of our efforts in Washington, our Assyrian soldiers are on the ground. Our police force is getting on the ground in Iraq, but yet it is continually blocked. Article 50, which was a necessary law in Iraq's provincial elections, would have guaranteed the right of minorities to be represented in their government. The reason for this was because the same people that were oppressing us and killing our people are also intimidating us at the polls. When Assyrians and Christians go out to the polling places in Iraq, they are targeted with violence and intimidation to keep them from exercising their right in their new democracy. Democratic elections are the most vital function of Iraq's future and progress. It is imperative that our people are properly represented. Our requests are simple. Reinstate Article 50 and bring our police force as legally ordered to full fruition so that our people can provide for our own security. Because God knows it's not going to be provided by anybody else. We are asking you as members of Congress, friends and Americans, to use your powers to put an end to the suffering of a people whose only wish is to practice their Christian faith in Iraq. Living in the United States, we are presented with a rare and sacred opportunity to bring good to our people. As Americans, speaking out against intolerance is our right. As Assyrians, it is our duty. Our request is simple: stand up, the police force in the Nineveh Plains, and reinstate Article 50. I cannot repeat that enough. We know that the road ahead will be difficult, and there are those who will continually stand in our way. But I ask you to never give up hope, because nothing can stand in the way of a million voices calling for justice. This isn't merely about policing and elections, however. This is about equality and opportunity. It is about freedom and prosperity. It is about life and liberty. It is about justice. Justice shall you pursue. The violence being carried out in Mosul at the hands of terrorists is a crime against God and humanity. Let us join together and heed the words of Isaiah to undo heavy burdens and let the oppressed go free. Thank you very much. God bless America.
I'd just like to introduce a friend of the Assyrian community. He's here to say a few words. Mr. Richard Reeder, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now, I'm here today because it's the right thing to do. I'm from the Jewish community. And one of the things that I want to do personally, let me just tell you, I'm one person. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the people in my community, the synagogues, the organized groups, to please support the Assyrian Christian community in Iraq. And, you know, my son lives in Israel. He's an Israeli citizen now. And I'm going to tell him and the other people, there's going to be a new prime minister in Israel. It's going to be any day right now. The Israeli government should be supporting the democratic Assyrian political movement in Iraq. The Assyrian people, the Jewish people, we believe only a democratic Middle East is something that's going to keep world peace. There are, you know, the kind of terrorism, Islamic fundamentalism in this country, it's going to destroy the Assyrian people. They're trying to destroy the Jewish people. Jewish people and Assyrian Christian people, we are allies. We're natural allies. And I will work hard, and I want to get from all your organizations, I want to get the information. I will talk to people. I will email out the story that's going on in Mosul. It's horrific. Again, when I hear genocide, it makes me sick. It makes me sick. And the whole world should know about this, and the whole world should be supporting you. So again, on behalf of, I'm one person from the Jewish community, but I promise you today that I will spread the word that your cause and the sufferings of your people back in Iraq, it's horrible, and I will work hard to try to build coalitions to try to fight and eliminate that. Thank you.
In the making of this documentary on Iraqi Christians, I traveled to Jordan and to many towns and villages in Iraq. I knew their condition was critical before I started, but I had no idea just how desperate their situation really is. I'm Rob Marcarelli, and I'm the producer of this video.
You must help us. Now I have a document in UNHCR, in United Nations, but they didn't help me. Why? I want to move to another country. I want to build my daughter's future. Now I am without house, I'm without money, I am without anything. Now, especially my daughter.
The ancient Christian community in Iraq is facing extinction. They are founded in the 1st century, but because of endless oppression, its numbers have now dwindled by nearly 1 million since 2003. They are looked upon as infidels and collaborators with the United States, so many of them have experienced religious persecution, kidnapping, torture, and numerous atrocities. Iraqis are the largest population of refugees in 60 years. Christians are a very small minority in Iraq, yet almost 1/3 of these refugees are Christians.
Our fathers, the Assyrio-Chaldean people, and the Arabs, and the Kurds, and the Persians who became Christian,
The violence that comes with war often brings unintended consequences. Families are forced to leave their homes. Entire communities are traumatized by the bloodshed. Unlike Muslim Iraqis, Christians have almost 2.5 million Iraqis are considered internally displaced people. They've had to flee their homes because of the war and the religious persecution. A significant percentage of these Iraqi Christians have fled to the Nineveh Plain, their ancestral by terrorists. Our daughter tells the story.
كلارا عبد الكريم هرمس، مسيحية، مواليد 86. بابي مثل الطيلة، شهيد، وزيلة مبلة جامعة ضباط، مطلقة محكم قتليلة، قود موصل، كم بلا جامعة، وأخني يتومي وخلنا الباقي بزوري لك كله.
يعني سبب ضغطها يعني بيتنا بالضباط؟
ايه نعم، مو بالضباط، تهديد يعني ليه اليوم هدو النية تعزله.
Well, the number one priority has to be to deal with the people who have never left, the Christians who have never left. Some in Baghdad now, some down in Basra, but a lot up in the Mosul area. How do you help them to keep them from going through what they're going through? Secondly, the Christians who have left, who have gone to both Syria and Jordan and some other countries, who eventually will be returning to Iraq. How do you help them? How do you help them when they're out of the country, living in very difficult conditions, and how do you help them when they come back? I mean, that's the nub of the problem, and to get some understanding from our government, the government of the United States, both the State Department and the embassy over there, but also how to get the attention of believers, of Christians here in the United States and other Western countries to advocate for. And to date, we have seen the embassy not doing very, very much. We have seen the Iraqi government doing almost nothing. And we haven't really seen the church in the West doing very much either.
The UN estimates that over 2 million Iraqi refugees have fled their country. More than half of the Christian community has been forced to leave their homeland. Most of them wait.
Of course, slips into activities that are less benign, and that's a risk that we are concerned with. There have been, of course, abuses, which we are very sorry to look at. One is the issue of women being used in the sex trade, and there is a terrible word that is used in Syria, which is a survival sex, which I find is quite pathetic.
بخط اليد كمان مو كل
حطيت له نقطة مهمة
يعني كاتبيها بخط اليد يعني مو كل شيء من ضمن اللائحة يعني.
They write it down under the information that they have.
انتوا فلوس يجوز هذه راحت لمنظمات إرهابية.
Because the money that you give, the money you give to the terrorists, you are helping the terrorists.
زين هذا أنت لو أنت ابنك مضطهد وراح يقتلوه تدفع فلوس الطلعة
If your son, would you pay the money or you will wait until you make a hero?
Now, what the Christian minority have been subjected to and subjected to in the past, as I said, history is repeating itself.
Young teenagers, youngsters, they were asked to convert to Islam, and they refused because that's not where the Christian teaching is. And here we see them crucified in the open. Some of them were tossed in wells and have them burned. There's so many cases, so many situations that went untold.
Through the centuries, there have been more than 30 genocides by Muslims against the Christians. This is a highly traumatized population where more than 50 of their churches have been firebombed since 2003.
The faster we can get these people into the lap of Chaldeans in the United States, the better. I can assure you they'll be taken well care of by those people. I've known these people for years and years and years, and some of them are my best friends. They want to help, and they want to not just help by bringing them to America. They want to help over here, over in Iraq. They want to work with, in fact, set up shop, so to speak, as how to improve the situation there, so they can eradicate the problem they have now, get them out of both Jordan and Syria and in line to come into the U.S. Now, I know there's an immigration line, but there's a line that we can speed up and certainly make sure that everybody's collaborating, working together. And I think we can put some pressure on those that are dragging their feet.
We came to America. My grandma, she did some papers, and we came to America legally. And me, my mom, me, my brother, and my dad. I have another brother. He's left behind in Jordan. He tried going back to Iraq. They kidnapped him. So, and they hit him a lot. We gave money so he could get out, and so he escaped to Jordan, and we're trying everything to bring him back here. We have his information, everything, but we still want him here. My mom, she's sick. She wants him here. She has the cancer. And she wants me here by us, and I want my brother to be with me. I haven't seen him in 6 years.
So Christians face today double persecution. It was for their faith, because they are Christian, and this is written by terrorists, and also for their ethnic specificity, which is not Kurdish, which is not Arabic. This is not a shame, and this is not a critic for our brothers, Kurdish and Arabic. This is a reality, this is a truth. I can't be what I am not, but I am brother with all those, and I must work with all those. And this is the aim of Christian, is just to have this right of citizenship, to stay in peace in the country, to work in cooperation with everybody.
She had 4 assassination attempts on her life. During the last attack, 4 of her bodyguards were killed.
We have
at great risk. Without assistance and public pressure, they're in danger of becoming extinct.
أسيجان مايكل 8 إنت لخن مرة شاكر أنا نقيت للشتاء إيد شخصيتون البردة أينوخن وقع خامتة أينوخن سلامة أسيجان مايكل هازاري لإتقابل شو المرانة وعونت إلى رتنا سبيشالست أسيجان مايكل برقلي البانت أسيوتا جسوبة شيكاغو ويسكونسن إلى بورد سيرتيفايد وطلاربا ماتشو جي شيكاغو نايلز فيرنين هيلز وودستاك أسيجان مايكل إلى خلمتت من أنصن عطوراية وعون شي مقرو خلمتت ليزر سيرجري وارهادخ رتنا سيرجري جوافيزو Mid-America Furniture 3110 West Peterson Chicago عدجتت لموديل بريشة فرنتشر أخ أعتقد خالة دماغها وأرخم من أمريكا ويوروب وبقيمة مرضيانة و 0% finance وتشد تابق with Mid-America Furniture ماضي لشمية من بريس خزوت أطرايبتي والقتياوي لوخن خد ديسكاونت عدجتت تختل الشوى يومانا جشبته بس تيمو تبوقن قم Mid-America Furniture قد شل latest furniture style ينقرم منو شوى طلع شوى إشتا خاتري خاسي بر إشتا تيمو تبوقن بت Mid-America Furniture. Assyrian American Civic Club of Chicago مقروة Halloween party شبتة November 1st 2008 صاد شوا جو Holiday Inn Skokie 5300 West Tuijo Skokie Illinois بتزمارا مخبة أوغن بتسامو وجوليانا جندو تكيتة إنسري $5 رقم دانا و$3 جتارا قد قانيتن تكيتة ماسيتن زونيتن من زقورتا Tiger International Dahlia Grocery Zander Import ين Mayfair Food and Liquor قا information قريمون شوا أربطلا أربا سيبار تري شوا ين ودن visit AssyrianCivicClub.com خزيانة مخبة خديتهم بضايا دانت هالويني لا وتلي أن السيفتي تيبس قالوخن وقايالو بناتي دينا برخة trick or treating وقاما إلى rock don't run ومن دي تري إلى stay on sidewalks ومن دي طلع obey traffic signals and stay in familiar neighborhoods إلى رابع أنا نقيت قتلازي تنجو neighborhoods لا يطيتون ومن دي خينا مضوينا don't cut across yards or driveways walk on sidewalks ومن دي خينا avoid wearing masks from house to house. And if you carry knives or swords, carry only flexible props. Approach only houses that are lit. مضوينا لخا إن بشختون trick or treating خوشن بس قدم بتواتي دي لبرقالية. ومن دي خرايا إلى stay away from pets that you do not know and do not pet them. وfinally a tip خرايا من شاروكينا safety tips خا Halloween إلى have a safe and happy Halloween منيو من عودة شلو برس خزت أطرايب تيول. Mid-America Furniture 3110 West Peterson Chicago عدجتت لموديل بريشة فرنتشر أخ أعتقد خالة دماغها وأرخم من أمريكا ويوروب وبقيمة مرضيانة و 0% finance وتشد تابق with Mid-America Furniture ماضي لشمية من بريس خزوت أطرايبتي والقتياوي لوخن خد ديسكاونت عدجتت تختل الشوى يومانا جشبته بس تيمو تبوقن قم Mid-America Furniture قد شل latest furniture style ينقرم منو شوى طلع شوى إشتا خاتري خاسي بر إشتا تيمو تبوقن بت Mid-America Furniture. خزيانة مخبة هلا خبتها خلخو تامل دها خرزة وهالتقبق بيوخن شبتت بتايلة منيو مناودة شلو برس خزوت آطوراي بتيول أنا وإن شاروكينا هالسوبي مهرم بوشمشانا وخيا أمتا آطوريتا